Hey there. Thanks for joining our session, Revolutionize Team Collaboration and Productivity. My name is Scott Picanso, and I'm a product marketing manager here at Box. Our session today is a panel discussion primarily focused on Box's e-signature solution, Box Sign, and our newest collaboration offering, Box Canvas. We have the privilege of being joined by Nathan McBride, Senior VP of IT at Xilio Therapeutics, and Michael Mueller, Project Manager at Deka Immobilien, to share a bit more about their business and experience with Box's collaboration and workflow solutions. We'll also be joined by Larissa Polika from the product marketing team a bit later in the session to provide product demonstrations of Box Canvas, Box Sign, and Box Relay. If you have any questions during the session, please use the Q&A box to the right of your video player, and our Box experts will get you an answer. We have two incredible admins for our panel discussion today, but before we get started, we wanted to share some productivity and collaboration trends to set the stage for these discussions. Beginning first with collaboration. According to a recent studies, we spent upwards of 70% of our day collaborating. That's quite a staggering number to think about, and yet despite that amount of collaboration, poor collaboration experiences can cost us almost 2 days of productivity each week. So it's no surprise that most organizations are focusing on providing better team connectivity with flexible tools that deploy quickly from anywhere at any time, enabling teams with the ability to work together visually and turn those ideas to actions, and reducing complexity and costs where they can. And with that, I'm excited to welcome Nathan McBride, Senior VP of IT at Xilio, to talk a bit more about visual collaboration and share Xilio's experience with Box. Nathan, can you tell us a bit more about Xilio and your role there?
Certainly. So Xilio, which comes from the Latin for ex nihilo, or from nothing, is a clinical stage company focused on tumor-activated therapies for cancer treatment. In layman's terms, what that basically means is we are focused on bringing high doses or higher doses of therapy to patients suffering from cancer with a very low risk of side effects, as you may be well aware that comes with treatments like chemotherapy, et cetera. As you said, I'm the Senior Vice President of IT here at Xilio, and I've been here since September of 2022, when I came in as IT employee number one. I wear many hats here, as do most IT folks in startup life science companies. And in December, I hired a partner in my department who focuses more on the physical infrastructure side, while I essentially support most of the collaborative side of the business.
Awesome. And it's great to hear about the phenomenal work Xilio is doing in the area of cancer treatment. Now, I'd like to learn a bit more about how Xilio is currently using Box today and how you collaborate. Can you fill us in and tell us more about why visual collaboration is critical to your business there?
Sure. So I've been a Box user for a little over a decade now, and I've deployed it globally in several companies. When I came to Xilio, I found what I typically find at companies of this stage, which is a data governance nightmare with just sprawl in every corner of the business. So Xilio in September of 2022 had over 9 terabytes of data, all unstructured, spread out over 5 different platforms. So I sort of knew pretty much right away that I was going to deploy Box because I needed native integrations for my lab software, my ELN, which is my electronic lab notebook, as well as my SaaS collaboration platforms, which I intended to bring on board, such as Slack and Airtable. So prior to Canvas coming out, we, like so many others who are sort of are in this stage of growth of our life sciences, rely heavily on our physical whiteboards for collaboration. Though for people who do an extensive amount of workflow, diagramming and similar work, we would also deploy Lucidchart licenses. Xilio is heavily comprised of digital natives. Every chance people here get to use new tools to push the visual envelope, they'll take those chances. So when Canvas came out, I immediately put it to use. Even as a beta product, I put it to use in a broad pilot for multiple groups across the company. And it helped very much that we were in the middle of the most complicated part of our data migration to Box, as that afforded a perfect opportunity to use Canvas for whiteboarding data structures for various functions and workflows that they would be using in this new Box world. So this, in turn, by proxy, showed everybody how the module worked And then they went off on their own to start working in their own teams with Canvas. So today, it surprisingly has become an indispensable tool for us for ideation between teams, and it bridges an important gap, especially between our on-premise and our remote workers. And we have a pretty good balance of hybrid work here. We do still rely heavily on Lucidchart as it has some more functionality, especially on the data linking side. But now we have a tool in our toolkit that is sort of less egalitarian and more for the everyday ideation worker. And the best part is it doesn't cost us an extra dime to give everyone a license. And the learning curve is nearly flat. So it's just a win-win all around.
9 terabytes across 5 different applications. Those are some mind-blowing numbers to think about. Well, it's also exciting to hear about how Box Canvas was pivotal towards your data migration process and how Xilio is currently using it to bridge the gap between on-premise workers and hybrid workers as well. So what advice do you have for other companies looking to integrate visual collaboration and digital whiteboarding into their collaboration strategies?
I mean, I look at it like this. I've seen lots of tools come and go, and there's certainly a dominance in the marketplace of visualization tools out there. Each has its own sort of evangelical group of followers, and everyone likes to say theirs is the best one. But the truth is that they're expensive. And for a company of our size, we're just about 100 people. We're limited by how many seats we can buy of platforms that come with expensive licensing. And so, you want to be able to give a seat to somebody so they can dabble, but it's at an expense. And so we can't give these expensive licenses to everybody who's just a dabbler. With Box Canvas, I don't have to think about dabblers anymore because I want everyone to be a dabbler with that product. So I would say for a company considering this, think about the cost of what it would take to equip every employee with a visualization tools license, and then factor that into the cost of what it would do the same if you already had Box. There's really no comparison. So every single day, I still win out because from a company, again, that's growing and has to be very, very careful about its resources, I'm able to give every single employee a visualization tool. And deployment, I'll just mention this really quickly. It's so easy because really, I already have the use cases in hand. It only took me putting together a 3-minute video. I literally recorded myself doing a 3-minute use case of Box Canvas, pushed it out to Slack, showed everyone how to use it in that 3-minute video. And then all my internal evangelists for Canvas already just took it a step further and trained their own groups. And so really it became viral. The deployment was, I mean, for all intents and purposes, instantaneous. And now everybody who wants to learn how to use it, I mean, I don't think people watch the video anymore. They just simply open it because they can start clicking things right away and get involved. So deployment was almost a non-thought.
Yeah, no, those are some great insights. I mean, scale is something we always take very seriously here, and something our customers always tell us about, and the ease of scale, the ease of deployment, and great to hear that. And we really appreciate the amazing insights. Thanks again for joining us, Nathan. Now let's take a look at Box Canvas in action to get a first-hand glimpse on why virtual whiteboarding can be so critical to visual collaboration for companies like Xilio. Take it away, Larissa.
I'm going to show Box Canvas from an end-user perspective to show the different features it has to offer and the value of visual whiteboarding. We are revising the vendor onboarding process at Acme Corp. We're going to use the infinite space in Canvas to review the current process and brainstorm what we could do differently. As you can see, our vendor onboarding process has been visually mapped out in Canvas with the use of headers, shapes, text, and connectors. This, of course, allows you to fully conceptualize the process flow as it relates to our onboarding process. Now that we've reviewed the current process, we want to brainstorm what we should keep, get rid of, or change. That said, we're now going to transition to a brainstorming session in Canvas to solicit suggestions. I'm going to select from our library of pre-built templates and choose the Good, Bad, Start, Stop template as a framework to evaluate the current process. Team members can now collaborate in real time and add text to these sticky notes, vote on them, and then create more sticky notes. Now, to close out, one of our teammates, Emma, was out of the office today, and I want to make sure that she adds to this brainstorming session. So I'm going to mention her, and she'll get a notification in her Box account. To wrap up, we looked at using Canvas as a tool to collaborate visually in real time, to facilitate meetings, map out processes, stay organized, and the list goes on. Thank you for watching.
Awesome demonstration, Larissa. Thank you. Now let's transition over to current trends in the e-signature market. The contribution of e-signatures during the COVID-19 pandemic was prominent, enabling business continuity in hybrid and remote work environments. The growing adoption of e-signatures, however, exposed the significantly high cost of ownership and lack of scalability with current e-signature providers. And as a result, most companies deployed multiple e-signature tools to solve the same pain points and limited access to only a handful of employees. It should come as no surprise that moving forward, organizations will evaluate their investments with e-signature solutions to ensure they are scalable and offer a broader set of functionalities in digitizing, automating, and transforming document processes. And with that, it's my pleasure to introduce Michael Mueller, project manager from Deka Immobilien, to share his experience with digital transformation and Box Sign. Hey, Michael, thanks for joining us today. Can you tell us a bit more about yourself and about Deka?
Sure, thanks for having me, Scott. Great to be here. I work as a project manager at Deka Immobilien, which is the real estate part of Deka Bank, the asset manager for the German savings banks here in Frankfurt, Germany. And we are the specialists for real estate investments within the Deka Group. At the moment, we manage nearly 600 properties in more than 27 countries around the world. So in the end, we buy, hold, develop, and sell properties on behalf of our clients and structure these investments into real estate funds. I introduced Box a couple of years ago in our company, and I'm the main contact for all our departments when it's about to implement new use cases with Box.
600 properties in more than 27 countries. That type of global scale is quite eye-popping. Can you tell us more about how Deka got started with Box and how it's utilized within those 27 countries today?
Yeah, as we are invested in 27 countries, we cooperate with various external service providers around the globe. They manage the properties on site for us, take care of our tenants, for example, or do technical maintenance of the properties. And in 2019, we introduced Box to move document exchange with these service providers away from email and now organize it by using Box. This makes life much easier for us, especially since in the real estate environment, we sometimes exchange several thousand documents during property transactions, for example, including large files like technical plans, for example. This is not possible doing by email. So in the past, we had to send hard drives and USB sticks around the world. And Box allows us to now easily share these volumes of data using the cloud with our partners around the globe. And in the meantime, almost all of our 600 internal colleagues in our real estate department work with Box, and we have shared folders with more than nearly 2,000 external users. We even use Box to manage the exchange of documents for real estate transactions and organize as well the due diligence of new real estate acquisitions. So it's a really smart tool and easy to use for us.
I can't imagine what it's like to have to move thousands of documents across 600 colleagues, over 2,000 external users, and again, over 27 different countries, and especially with hard drives and USB sticks. So it's crazy to see how you've digitally transformed over that period of time. Can you tell us a bit more about Deka's experience with Box Sign specifically and how it helps solve those pain points for you and the effect that it's had on business productivity at Deka?
Yeah, sure. Box Sign came at just the right time for us, especially after the pandemic, when not everyone is in the office on site. The signature process faces with some challenges. So signing internal documents, approvals, payments, or other documents like that could no longer be handled as easily as fast in the office as before. And sometimes my colleagues started scanning their signatures and copied the signature pictures onto requests or approvals or like that. And yeah, of course, this is more than insecure and can easily be manipulated. So now with BoxSign, we have a very good and smart solution for controlling internal documents in a more transparent and uniform way by using the Box platform that is used by everyone in our company anyway. So currently, yeah, we only use BoxSign for internal documents.
Awesome. Yeah, I love hearing about the internal use cases with BoxSign, especially when you factor in the aspect of security and compliance and how prevalent that is with remote working conditions and people working in different areas globally. So love to hear that. Thanks for taking time to speak with us, Michael. I really appreciate your time. All right, now let's bring in Larissa again to demonstrate how BoxSign and Box's low-code workflow automation solution, Box Relay, can work seamlessly together to reduce costs with secure e-signature workflows within the Content Cloud.
Sam Adams, the onboarding specialist at Increo Corp, is using Box Relay to create a new employee contract review and approval workflow for onboarding new employees. To trigger the workflow, when the signed employee contract is returned to Box, Sam chooses the trigger sign event and the action completed by all signers. Next, Sam wants the signed employee contract reviewed for accuracy and completeness after all parties have signed. To accomplish this, he adds the outcome assign a task to assign an approval task to the onboarding manager, Michaela. Finally, once the employee contract documents are approved by Michaela, he wants them moved to the signed contracts folder. To complete the workflow, Sam adds the file action outcome to move the signed employee contract to the destination folder, Signed Contracts. By creating this workflow, Sam was able to automate the repeatable process of reviewing signed employee contract documents in the HR department, and this will help his team be more efficient and eliminate mistakes. Now, let's see the workflow in action. Lisa has just accepted a new position at Increo Corp, and Sam Adams needs her to sign the employee contract document. To initiate the request, he opens up the employee contract template in BoxSign, adds Lisa as the recipient, and sets the signing order and sends the request. Because Sam is the first person who needs to sign the document, he is immediately prompted to complete his required fields. Sam proceeds to complete each field, then clicks Sign and Finish to complete the signing process. Switching now to Lisa, who just received the signature request email from Sam, Lisa clicks the Review Document link to open up the employee contract document and sees that Sam has already signed it. She completes her required fields and clicks Sign and Finish to complete the signing process. Now we switch to Michaela, who Sam designated in his Box Relay workflow to review and approve employee contract documents. Michaela has a new notification in her task inbox to review the employee contract that was just signed by Sam and Lisa. She confirms that everything is correct and approves the task. Upon approval, we can see that the employee contract has been moved to the Signed Contracts folder, where it has been classified by Box Shield for additional security, as well as retention policy applied by Box Governance.
Awesome stuff there, Larissa. Thank you for illustrating how BoxSign and Box Relay work seamlessly together. We're approaching the end of our session here today on revolutionizing team collaboration and productivity. On behalf of Larissa and I, thank you for joining us today. And a very special thank you to Michael and Nathan for sharing their experiences and feedback with us. We hope you enjoy your next session. Have a great rest of your day.